10 years. A lot of things can happen within that time. You could graduate high school and start working a job. A technological innovation could change our lives. Or better yet, you could finish developing one FNAF Fangame. 1 Week at Flumpty's Fanmade is a recreated, finished version of the infamous cancelled game by Jonochrome. But at this point, the existence of this game is almost as obscure as the original Flumpty's game itself. So why would any game take this long? I needed to find out. Not just for myself, but also for the fans. This video is a bit more personal for me, as I've been keeping up with the development of this Fangame ever since 2020. But I realized, I'm about to graduate from high school, and this FNAF game still hasn't released. So what happened? There's clearly still progress being made, but at some point, you've got to wonder, what's causing it to take so long? What is actually happening behind the scenes? So I decided to investigate, starting with the official Discord server. But for those uninitiated or those who forgot, 1 Week at Flumpty's was the planned continuation from One Night at Flumpty's 2, following the hype of FNAF 3. On May 1st, 2015, Jonochrome posted the first teaser for the game, referencing the first FNAF 4 teaser. Even as early as May, there was already early cracks forming in the foundation for a third game, with small hidden text hinting towards the fact that Jonochrome didn't have his heart in the creation of this project. Something which is problematic, given how passion was the key determining factor to why all the other OWAF games were designed so well. During the rollout period for OWAF, lots of minor teasers were posted, including the infamous "Why a Third One Night of Flumpty's Game" video, and even a screenshot of the early office. But it wasn't until June 13th that the hype was shot down by Jonochrome himself, when he announced the cancellation of OWAF in one now taken down video. I won't go too much into detail, so if you want to get into specifics about what happened alongside the development process, I'll link the wiki page and re-uploaded videos in the description. But what's more important is what happened after this cancellation. And no, I'm not talking about FNAF 3. That's a whole separate other thing that happened 4 years later. I'm talking about the first Night 1 demo for 1 Week at Flumpty's Fanmade, being released 1 year after the initial cancellation by up-and-coming developer Simply Mackison. To put it bluntly, the first demo was really rough. You could tell it was made almost entirely by one person. However, it was still pretty impressive for what it was, and this is what began the tumultuous development process for 1 Week at Flumpty's Fanmade. During this time period, the fangame itself was gaining lots of traction, with its initial teaser video racking up over 1 million views, with multiple big FNAF Let's Players posting videos in the game, namely 8-Bit Gaming, Game Salon, and Dorko. But as the years went on, momentum naturally slowed down, as it seemed the game began to evolve drastically with each teaser and demo build. Speaking of demo builds, the last official demo was released over 3 years ago on November 1st, 2022. And between now and then, a lot of changes have been made, as evident in the before and after playable teaser game released on November 25th, 2024, which went into all the visual overhauls and new additions to the game, while teasing Golden Flumpty's appearance for Night 6. Now that we're all caught up, this takes us to the present day, where for the most part, there hasn't been much updates regarding the game, and progress channels were hidden. The biggest question running through my mind was, what was going on behind the scenes? And how could such a well-received fangame with a fairly active Discord community be quiet for so long? So being someone who closely followed this game for years, I set out to find the answers myself, and got in contact with the developer team for 1 Week at Flumpty's, where I would not be holding back with my questions. Okay, so the first question, and this one's for Sipley, but do you remember what initially sparked the idea to revive OWAF in 2016?
It's kind of a long story, actually. From here, this is where I got the idea. In 2016, I finished making Five Nights at Madness in like June 2016, and I made the whole game in a month or so. And somewhere then, I remember being on a train where I coded the first like parts of 1 Week at Flumpty's and made. How I first got the idea was just basically for fun thing. Yeah, that was like it. I was like, yeah, you know what? I finished one game. Let's try making this. Why the fuck not?
Okay, moving on to the second question. What ended up being the hardest part developing OWAF?
Oh man.
The hardest thing is whatever's fucking happening right now, and it's all like real life stuff. It's just getting in the way of working on the game. If we're talking about parts of the game specifically like challenges within the development that was difficult. At least for me, the coding and accounting for all the different characters was the most difficult part.
The only difficulty I ran into were probably redesigns. The voice chats where we talked around, like where we, instead of working, we just watched shows or played Tetris.
What was everyone's favorite memory from working on a WAF over the years?
This is very simple. I think like everyone here will agree, except for maybe Nerve, because Nerve wasn't present here when we did this. Mid 2021 until maybe Halloween 2022 or somewhere like that. That's when we made the extended demo. It was very good. There were only 3 people on the team. It was me, Andrew, and John. And we just went to voice calls like every day, sat there for like 6+ hours, had fun, developed the game very quickly. We were thinking that, holy shit, this is going so well, it's not gonna take long. All of the teammates here wish to just go back to that time because it was so good, so much better than whatever we have now.
I mean, at that time, I went to a hospital. I was doing like animations and stuff, and like I have a history with my back, the spine and stuff, and I decided to work on the floor, just lay on the floor and just work from there. Apparently, it spiked something in my organs, and I was in pain, and I was like sent to a hospital. Even while at the hospital, I decided to still work on Flumpty. I had some paper on me and some pencils. I sketched up of the owl's jump scare and some other poses for Grunkfuss and some animations for the beaver. And even then, in the hospital, they didn't do nothing to me. They did a checkup, didn't understand what was going on, didn't pay a cent, and I just left. So you could say it was a break for me.
I want to share my favorite memory about working on OWAF. So when I first got in a team and have been in the team for some time, Sip and John showed me everything that has been made for the game, and I was so impressed by it, but by one part of it. The menu thing that I can't tell what is it, because that is a major spoiler, but that thing like motivated me to work for the game. I was just thinking, yeah, I will be in the team till the game is finished.
At one point during development, my relative simply died, to the point that now only my older brother and I are alive. After that, the development was very slow, intersected with the fact that Sip and I moved to another country and are getting old, now to legalize here in order to live in peace and continue working on projects. But at the moment, there's just a lot slowing down in development. But I have a vivid impression when I was at the time of the collapse of my life. I was just actively distracted in the development of the game, and I couldn't get off my chair. While I was making tracks and sounds and putting together a team and a project like Nerve and Katya, who else? Beboos, I guess. This was the best era of the game development for me, as Adriana says.
How many finished builds has a WAF gone through? And I say that with heavy quotations. I know there were near release versions time from 2020 and 2022 Halloween, but how many times were Nights 1 to 6 ready to ship? And what caused each major direction change?
Alright, let's see. Nights 1 to 6 were never ready to release. They're Night 5 and 6 at least, they were never done ever. Night 4 also kind of. If we're talking about 2020 times, I basically like stepped away from the development and gave the rights to Pablo. He was the main coder, he organized shit, he did a lot. I do have respect for Pablo, but fucking hell, it wasn't very good. Like, when he left from the team, I had to recode the game from the beginning, like from scratch completely. After releasing the extended demo in 2022, we thought that, holy shit, with the tempo of how we're working right now, with only one artist on the team, maybe 2 if we include me, how are we gonna make all the other nights? There needs to be like fucking 15 or 16 or maybe more than 20 poses for champ and chump each, and drawing one pose takes fucking forever. Some of the assets that were drawn were not of very good quality because some of them were drawn in like 2 days. We were like, no, that quality does not represent the game. We need to redraw it. and now it takes forever.
Yo, Nerve, you
No,
want to ask?
there's a big problem with perfectionism, even in me. Cameras takes a lot of time to complete, so yeah.
How much of development time for, we'll just say 2025, was spent on quality of life improvements, such as new cameras versus developing new content? And I know you guys hate progress reports, but would you say the game is in its polishing phase now?
We don't really hate progress reports. It's just sharing literally everything can just spoil the experience for people. We try to keep silent unless we have something that is to show, but something that won't be a spoiler to the public. There was a lot of remaking, obviously. Like, the cameras got remade relatively quickly. I redrew them all in like 2 weeks or something, maybe within a month, in 2024. There were some remakes of like big parts of the game that we are still contemplating whether if it was a mistake or not, which it probably was, and we should have never done it. It took fucking half a year for some people, and we wasted a lot of time on it, and some of it is still not done.
Okay, now for all the marbles, purely from the developer perspective, why has OWAF taken so long? What's been going on behind the scenes that fans wouldn't know about?
I will just say that we have a lot of problems in real life that are very urgent, very important, and that need solving. All of us don't really have enough time and momentum and enthusiasm to just keep working on the game as usual, because fucking hell, shit is very, very, very bad, and maybe we're just burnt out. I mean, I personally definitely burnt out at some point, maybe still am, because when we get Flumpties, it takes a lot of our time and effort, but it's completely free, and the fandom is fucking dead, and the server is fucking dead, and nobody cares, but we still put a lot of effort into it. And we can't make any clout, probably, or any money off of it. We all have money problems right now, and we're practically fucking all broke. We need a lot of money, and we can't make any off of 1 week at Flumpties, and that fucking sucks. We still want to see it released. I personally still love this game. It's like my personal project. I put fucking 10 years into it. I want to see it get released. I want to see it get done. But at the same time, when it's my turn to work on it, I'm like, fuck. Maybe it's better for me to like look for a job or anything like that, like solve more urgent shit, than like work on this project that's not ever gonna give me any profit, even if I wanted to.
Yeah, most of it is like real life stuff. Like, I mean, sometimes you want to do something else. Sometimes you want to, lay in bed, get lazy, or do something else. But in reality, you're still attached to this project, and you really want it to get done. But in reality, who's gonna need it? Who's gonna play it other than the kids who is like following Flumpties, or like, you won't see Markiplier playing. You won't see the guy himself, Jonochrome, the affiliated kid diddler. He won't play it.
When we started making the game in 2021, we had like a lot of cool ideas, and then when One Night at Flumpty's 3 came out, we played it and we were like, fuck, half of our ideas were used there.
So we just pretty much had to like rethink our way what to do with the game.
And finally, is there anything you'd like to share with the fans?
Oh yeah, hold on. Don't make fan games of a FNAF fan game that is inspired from an egg. You probably have a good portfolio out of it, but please don't waste 10 years on it. Don't be like us. Please do something better. Find a job. Make yourself happy, and do something great. Now, not saying that we're losers, but yo, we're doing something differently. You should do something differently. Yo, look out for something good in life. Do something good.
You heard it here, folks. 1 week of Flumpties will come out, probably before GTA 6. And we can finally put all the devs are just being lazy, or the devs are just wasting time, accusations to rest. If you want to check out the game or support the team, I'll leave the GameJolt page linked below, along with ways you can directly help the developers bring this game to life. Trust me, after seeing the gameplay myself, I'd feel like a criminal for getting it all for free. And if you want to learn about the story behind Earthbound 2, and how another franchise went into a similar, if not worse, development hell, you can click on the screen. Oh, you're still here? Well, since everyone else left and it's just me and you, I guess I could show one more thing from Sipley.